Hello and welcome. Hi, I'm author Grace Rolson, a mother, survivor, author, and coach for moms co-parenting with narcissists or stuck in high conflict custody battles with a narcissist. If you're dealing with a narcissistic co-parent, you're not alone. There's many of us who have gone before you. So welcome to my work. If you're a mom who is forced to co-parent with a narcissist, with a difficult narcissist, or stuck in a high conflict family court battle, I have some tips, tools, and strategies that I'd like to share with you. If you're ready to learn, I am ready to teach. Know that you are not alone. I aim to be a light in this darkness of this dilemma. My goal is protection and peace for children by supporting, guiding, and mentoring moms in finding support, getting stable, staying sane, being smart, and doing solid documentation. Hang on and have hope. Just a quick disclaimer that I'm not an lawyer, and these are just my thoughts and opinions. I don't give mental health advice other than to get therapy and professionals, and I can't help if you're in a crisis situation. I'm not a crisis worker, and I'm not a lawyer or an attorney. I can't give appropriate legal counsel, even if you signed up for my coaching or strategy calls. So this is shared survivor wisdom. Take what you like and leave the rest. I talk about stopping the angst with the narcissist by learning to set some internal boundaries with ourselves versus trying to set boundaries with a boundary crossing, disrespectful, selfish, self centered narcissist. We can get smarter and stronger through learning the lessons that come with dealing with these toxic, difficult, personality disordered people. So you can learn, heal, and outgrow the narcissist. And the key is to learn the lessons. And I write for moms who are forced to co-parent and or stuck in a high conflict custody battle with a narcissist. My books can validate what you might be experiencing and give you creative ways to improve your co-parenting conditions. In my books, I include all of my tips, tools, strategies for moms to grab onto like life rafts. And I'm talking to the protective, loving, caring mothers who are the healthy parent here. Sometimes when you're dealing with this, it's slowly about survival and staying afloat. I believe that there are healthy attitudes that we can adopt, mindsets to make solid, sanity to hold on to, as well as beneficial perspectives to take that can help us endure the dilemma and survive a custody battle. My particular focus is on creating peace and protection for children, so not necessarily winning everything, but winning peace and protection. We can learn to use what I call skillful means and strategies to navigate and neutralize the narcissist. Find my video program at the end. Learn all you can from my survivor wisdom because knowledge is power. Let the chapters of my books be like self help story medicine. My goal is to leave you with tidbits of wisdom and lots of encouragement. Know that you can endure this with support. You can be resilient in the face of the many challenges when dealing with a narcissist. And the truth is that our love for our children or child is bigger than the narcissist. Believe in yourself as a mom. Remember to learn the valuable lessons and all the pain and problems so that you can come out of this smarter and stronger than before. Like me, you can one, outgrow the narcissist, two, become immune to his attacks, psychological, mental, verbal attacks, and three, move on with your life to thrive, even if they don't. Better yet, your children can move on too and thrive. So use wisdom and lead with love. Hi, I'm author Grace Rolson. This is my newest book, How to Survive a Custody Battle with a Narcissist When the Family Courts Force You to Co-Parent. It's got a lot of my latest blogs. It's got my Get the Right Lawyer guide. And in this guide, which is being updated now, you'll know the difference between a lawyer and an attorney and what questions. It has my 20 question worksheet to ask in these attorney interviews. When you're interviewing potential attorneys, you can maximize these legal consultations. Don't bring and dump the drama or expect to get emotional support like you would from a therapist from a lawyer, but learn how to use your lawyer. And look for that guide on my website or in my newest book. I also have another PDF that's helpful that has everything we wish we put in the court order originally, not knowing that someone like a narcissist would play in all the gray areas, be very difficult if it wasn't spelled out in black and white, he played in the gray. So there's a comprehensive list of things you could ask for. You could go down this list. If you have a good attorney, they usually have a very standard, solid, lengthy divorce or custody pre-written document that they just fill in the blanks. But if you don't have that in your attorney, you could lead your attorney with circling everything on this list or copy paste and put in a document that you want to include. And then you have to have the lawyer write the legal verbiage, wording, or his paralegal on how it needs to be written for the courts. If you don't have a lawyer that is working for you, if your lawyer is not responsive, if your lawyer is more of a liability than an asset, you may want to think about switching lawyers or changing attorneys. So I have 10 factors to consider if and when. That's also in a video on my YouTube channel, I believe. So you can watch, read, or listen. I always say, read these things, take your time, digest the material, sleep on your thoughts, journal, write down your pros and cons, reason it out with someone, and make sure you're not making desperate emotional decisions. If you come over to my website, my blog has another article, Don't Be Desperate for a Lawyer. So that's usually when we end up with the wrong lawyer. I'm speaking from experience. If you're very, very desperate, you might attract another narcissist who is a lawyer slash attorney who is looking to make the billable hour. So you may want to try to find out in those interviews that you do. I talk about doing like 3 to 5 consultations with different family law attorneys, and using that 20 question worksheet that's included in my guide. You can find that under PDFs as well. So I talk about having peace co-parenting with a personality disordered narcissist, which they can't give us the peace that we crave. We have to give ourselves the peace and create it with boundaries about what we will do and what we won't do. And you can learn that in my blog about my Skillful Means Method. Remember to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel as I post a lot of free videos. My background is loving an alcoholic and setting myself free, doing my codependency recovery through Al-Anon, CODA, ACOA for over 20 years, and then breaking the trauma bonds, which I did not know that was what was happening. I was someone who loved an alcoholic for 15 years, did not know he was a covert narcissist or suffered NPD or ASPD. So had no idea until my second attorney advised me why my case was not settling in family court when most other cases resolve. So learn from my story, see what you can take out. I do offer free tips. I do have a new Substack email newsletter that's free. You can sign up. You can donate to me as a writer. This isn't what I do full time. This was never a plan for my life, but I want to give back to the moms who really need to connect with someone who's made it to the other side. So I survived a 12-year custody battle. And I am now free of that custody battle, and the narcissist is no longer doing what I called, if you read my blog, co-parenting abuse. I do have a blog on how I stopped the co-parenting abuse. It did take understanding the dynamics and dropping the tug of war and doing a very strategic silent documentation system of all the important things that would matter. And I teach that in my coaching to the moms so that they can get organized, because the key to this, the key to getting through this and stopping a lot of the problems is being very organized with their disorganization. So I'm going to take you over to my website now, where you can see more of what I offer, because I do have some private Facebook groups. If you come over to the groups tab, for moms either co-parenting with a narcissistic ex or in a custody battle, I have some welcome videos that explain my books. My books can be a great resource. They're written in self-help style so that you can extract some of the wisdom. Each one of these chapters, all 7 chapters, is a self-rule I established for myself, which took out a lot of the pain and problems. And there's a bonus chapter number 8, how I staged a comeback. And then I realized that this was a fight that I had to show up to, even though I wasn't the type to fight, but I had to understand who needed to do the fighting, and that wasn't me. And not I don't recommend going toe to toe with a narcissist. I had to survive a bad court ruling that was unfair. And then I learned to do the things like building leverage and getting solid documentation organized and turn my case around. So I lost my legal rights to my daughter, my 8-year-old at the time, even though I was never married to the narcissist. There was a lot of tricks, traps, tactics, manipulations. And I ended up in co-parenting therapy for 7 months with the abuser. I ended up changing lawyers. I'm on my 3rd lawyer. And I ended up winning all my rights back and getting more parenting time and getting cooperation from a narcissist. It's pretty unbelievable. I understand. The narcissist even said it's a miracle. He called it a miracle. And it really, if you knew anything about miracles or the Course in Miracles, a miracle is simply a shift in perception. So he no longer perceived me as the enemy. Or if you read any of Bill Eddy's books, like the 5 types of people who can ruin your life, I was no longer the TOB, the target of blame. So here is my blog. These are the newest things where I talk about skillful means, how to neutralize, what to do about a GAL. My first GAL wrote 3 bad reports, was hired by my ex, and the last one was an asset. So here's my blogs. A lot of them are free. I have a 3-part strategy for co-parenting and custody battles with a narcissist. It's not just play defense, defense, defense. You will have to do an offense, and you will have to focus on your parenting and not so much the narcissist. An obsession with the narcissistic ex of what he is and isn't doing will pull your focus off of how great of a mom you can be. You can always secretly and silently document that. So here's the 5 factors that can make a narcissist stop. And it is a blog into a PDF. So if you are dealing with a narcissistic co-parent who is doing co-parenting abuse, there are some factors that can make them stop. And the experts will tell you it's accountability, monitoring, and consequences. So I have 20 legal strategies or more that we've had to use over the years. This blog is very helpful. But learn my Skillful Means Method, because it took a year of planting seeds of cooperation for me to get that. And it took me focusing on peace in order for me to get peace. So I do also have some tips on how to deal with co-parenting therapy. I was able to turn those abusive co-parenting therapy sessions into such a place for him to expose himself that he no longer wanted to participate in those therapy sessions. So I have blogs about keeping communication simple. I have 2 blogs about helping a child that I got from my daughter's therapist and making mistakes as a mom. I get the how to get the right lawyer guide, which is being updated. Um, that's so valuable to do those free consultations. And even if you can't afford a lawyer, there's what to do if you are low income, what questions to ask. Even you still have the right to get a free consultation, even if you can't afford the attorney. There are still questions you can ask and ways you can be resourceful. And I talk about the co parenting abuse. Yes, I went through it and I had to decide to fight or not to fight. I do have this great steps to win in family court. You've got to know where you are and what you're doing. You sometimes being yourself doesn't work in certain situations. If you're a caring, cooperative empath, but you're being required to learn the rules of war and an engagement. I know the family courts do fail a lot of protective parents. I was one of them. I thought the courts understood. They didn't have it all down or get it all right. In some cases, they do. So you can read what it's like to lose in family court, just to be aware that fathers are often winning custody of children they abuse from women they used to abuse. It's sad, it's true. Um, Family court is, they say, broken, but I know it's not competent, and it's not equipped enough to deal with master manipulators, liars. They don't have a way to fish that out and weed those people out before you get to hearings and trials and exposure. So come on over to my website to read any of my blogs that are so helpful that moms read, and they have some ahas and awakenings. And you can find my PDFs and my course, my Get the Right Lawyer Guide here. And you can find my course right on the homepage, which is 11 video course of the basics right here. The narcissist has tricks, tactics, traps, manipulations, but we need to have strategies, skills, and self rules to navigate the narcissist. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope you come over to my website, use my resources and tools. And yes, I do offer private one to one coaching and strategy support, but look at some of my books first on Amazon to see if my message resonates with you. So, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and sign up for my Substack newsletter, which that link will be going up soon and should be down in the comments below.